Tully. Today we're making an old-fashioned casserole because Dan wouldn't tell me what he wanted for dinner, so he gets a surprise. Specifically, we're making a ground beef and hominy bake. So I'm pretty excited about this because I love hominy. First thing you need to do is you need to finely chop a medium onion and a medium pepper. I've got a green bell pepper, and just make sure those are nice and chopped, and then we'll get on to the next step. And I forgot to mention that if you want to make this, I will put the recipe down below in the video description box so you will have it so you can recreate it for yourself. And don't worry, I used the little bit of pepper meat on the top there. I'm just putting the scraps in for my chickens. So if anybody knows of a good way to dice up bell peppers, please let me know in the comments because every time I cut one up, I do it different. I don't have a good technique. Okay, so I'm using 93% lean ground beef. The recipe says to add a little bit of fat to your ground beef if you need to. I think I might have to. I'm not sure how much will render out of this as I'm browning it. So let me just squeeze it out of the package. If you use these little chubs of beef, twist the package as you squeeze it out and you'll make sure you get like all of it. And so some of it doesn't stay behind. Okay, so there we go. And my pan's been heating up. As you can see, it's starting to smoke. And get yourself one of these little tools. It's like a meat masher. I forget what they're called, but if you go to Amazon or Google and type in like ground meat masher, you should come up with something like this. It is way easier to brown ground meat when you have that. And see, I'm adding a little bit of canola oil or vegetable oil, whatever the hell it is, because I don't think there's going to be enough fat in this. And plus, we're going to add our diced onion and diced bell pepper to this, and we're going to kind of cook it all together and get the vegetables soft and get the meat brown until it's nice and crumbly. So let's get going with that because this is kind of boring. Okay, so time for the vegetables. So in go my onion and pepper, make sure you get it all, and then just stir those around until they soften. I'm going to throw a lid on this just to kind of make it cook a little bit faster. I am such an impatient person. I cook on high heat and I just want to get it done. I'm not saying you should do that because I've actually burned a lot of stuff, but I'm saying that's what I do because I'm very impatient. So let's get this all mixed up. And of course, Tully smells the meat and is coming in for a visit, rubbing up against me, hoping he'll get some. And then my neighbor's cat is here. He's always here. And I can't say no to that cute face, so I let him in. And that's rude, Tully. Wow, on camera. Alrighty, so time to add our salt and our chili powder. The recipe says to add half a teaspoon of salt and then either half a teaspoon or a full teaspoon of chili powder. I'm going to go with the full teaspoon because I like things spicy. So we shall see how this tastes. These are the only seasonings that are in this recipe. I'm kind of surprised there aren't a little bit more. So hopefully it'll be flavorful. I think it will be, but we shall see. Okay, so I've never cooked grits before, and I'm kind of following the instructions on the back. I guess a quarter cup of grits makes a quarter cup of cooked grits. I don't know. The packaging doesn't say how much it makes. So I'm putting in a cup of grits and 4 cups of water, and then a little bit of salt. And any Southerners out there or people familiar with grits can tell me if I'm doing this right. And then I realized it said whisk grits into boiling water. I'm like, oh, for the love of God, of course I'd F this up. But let's see how it turns out. So I'm wondering why this isn't cooking, and then I realized that my burner isn't even on. So I don't know why I'm so scatterbrained. I've been up since 4:40 a.m. That's when Tully started howling for food. I'm a little tired, and it shows. All right, now it's going, and it says to cook 5 to 7 minutes or until thickened. I think I had quick 5-minute grits. All the grits on the shelf were like instant or quick cooking, so I've had cornmeal mush before, which is basically just cornmeal. I think this is probably pretty similar to that, and I really like that, so I think I'll really like grits. Hopefully I'm not making too much. I'm looking at the amount in here and I'm thinking, I think I made way more than a cup. But that's fine. If I did, I'll just eat the rest for breakfast tomorrow. I hear it's good with honey and butter, so that sounds delicious to me. So we'll be having that later if I've made too much. Look, lid, I can follow some instructions. While the grits were cooking, I decided to try my luck with a scratcher while I was eating some Cheez-Its, and this was a $1 scratcher. My winning number is 1, and as I go through, I realize that I'm a total loser. I didn't win anything. Well, whatever. Okay, I put my meat mixture into a bowl, and I'm going to measure out a cup of grits because I've obviously made way more than that. And in goes my grits. And this definitely looks just like cornmeal mush, which is one of my most popular videos, which is kind of surprising to me. Anyways, so scrape that out. This looks good. This smells good, so it's promising so far. And now we're going to add, it said to use either beef bouillon or beef gravy. I don't have either of those. I have beef broth, so that's what I'm using. So in goes my tomato sauce, and then my beef broth goes on top. There it is, mixy mixy. Let me speed this up for you guys. Okay, it says to spoon this into a lightly greased 2-quart casserole dish. I think this is 2 quart. I have no idea. It's bigger than my 1 quart, so I'm using it. And I'm not spooning, I'm pouring. I just sprayed it with some cooking spray and get all that goodness out there. This does actually smell good. I'm a little skeptical, I'm not gonna lie, but it does smell good and it has things in it that I like, so I think it'll be good. And now we're gonna top it with some cheese and shimmy it down so it's level. And only the finest in this house, Tillamook sharp cheddar, my friends. A little bit of that on top. I'm not measuring cheese because that's sacrilegious. Cheese on top, and then we're going to top it with some breadcrumbs. So I just have some plain breadcrumbs, and I'll put those on top. And I'm going to the gym when Dan gets home, and then we'll eat dinner afterwards. So I'm going to put a lid on this and stick it in the fridge, and then we'll bake it. I'll come back and let you guys know what temperature to bake it for and how long. So let me get a lid on this thing. Like I mentioned earlier, I've never had grits, so I'm curious to try them. Plain, just a little bit of salt. So let's see. Hot as hell. Eat with my mouth open. I like it. It's good. Tastes like cornmeal mush. Tastes kind of like cream of wheat a little bit too, but I like this texture better. This is very good. Exciting. What a find. Yeah, get in on this. You ready to try this? Are you ready to try this?
Yes.
All right, let's get some bowls. I think we need bowls. Okay, stop filming.
I don't know what I do. Sure.
Okay, Dan.
So what is this concoction we have?
Ground beef and hominy bake. There goes the timer. What do you think?
It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Is that breadcrumbs on the top?
Yes. Let me grab the book. Pardon the mess. This recipe is from this book, Cooking with Casseroles. This is from 1958. So yeah, you could use ground beef in this, or if you have leftover beef roast, you can use that instead. But it's the only seasoning in it is chili powder and salt. You think it's good? Good, because it made a decent amount. Serves 6.
The breadcrumbs really give it that something extra.
Dan's disappointed that I didn't provide a bread product
Yeah.
with this. There's hamburger buns on top of the fridge. You can eat those.
Who makes a casserole without garlic bread?
You can go to the store. You can go to the store. Don't let me stop you.
You know I don't go anywhere.
Oh, that sweet girl. Look at that sweet boy. Hey, show your little shining face to the world. Oh, handsome. Okay, well, let me give this a shot. I'm curious. Oh yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised. That's actually really tasty. You really taste the pepper.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Bell peppers usually have a pretty mild flavor, but their flavor comes through. All right. Well, I hope to see you guys in the next video.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.